we are standing at a precipice, right? Or you dangle at a precipice, right? Okay, here's what's going on with my head. So I was walking the dog yesterday. It's very hot out in Israel, by the way. It's very it's cooled down, but it was like, I don't know, high. Like I always get confused between centigrade and Fahrenheit. Like, I think Fahrenheit sounds cooler, but I don't understand it, right? Fahrenheit is like, if they tell it's like, 103 Fahrenheit, I'm like, that's cold, isn't it? I don't know. I'm confused, right? I'm confused. I kind of like the boiling point and freezing point of water, right? As my but my brain can understand that. Water freeze. Okay, that's 0. Water boil. Okay, that's 100. My brain can understand that, right? I don't understand Fahrenheit. It's so bloody confusing. However, I like the book Fahrenheit 451, so therefore I like Fahrenheit. Anyway, I digress. What was I talking about? Yes. I was walking the dog yesterday, and very, very hot out. And I passed, was it a neighbor of mine who was the daughter of that she's younger than us, but like she's got a kid and she's like a single mother. Really, we really like her, right? Really, really know. But we've known her since she was little, which is weird. Anyway, so and I always try and be optimistic, like, and I always try and like when things are looking bad, I always try and be optimistic about what's going on and just like, because people get. What's that? Hang on. What was that? That just had Nigel Farage talk to me. Why was Nigel Farage talking to me? I mean, don't be wrong. I like Nigel Farage talking to me, but I don't understand why that's going on. Okay, fine. It was on my Twitter was open, right? And Nigel Farage was just I kind of like things he has to say, but I came out of nowhere. Anyway, I digress. So I try and be optimistic, right? I always say, oh no, this is good. I'm always very messianic. I think, we're heading to great times. And I do. Just how soon? I don't know. See, that's the thing. So he said, Jim, how are you feeling? Optimistic? I'm like, not really. Not right now. No, I'm not feeling. I'll tell you why, right? I'll tell you exactly why I am not filled with the messianic optimism that I normally am. Is right now I feel we are dangling at a precipice. I think dangling at a precipice works, right? We are dangling at a precipice. We could, and we're about to fall, right? We could miraculously fall into the hands of God, the ever-loving embrace of God, as we go on a quick ride to take us to a messianic reality, right? Or we could be in for years and years of misery, and it's years if we're lucky, rather than decades, right? And it really is. It can go one of those two ways. Because, like, if Biden wins, then it's a lot worse, right? I mean, if any establishment thing wins, everything's a lot worse, right? And it really could go either way. Amazingly, bizarrely, right? They show you how much power we've given up without realizing it, right? That you have the people who are like, no, we don't want this globalist bullshit, and the general insanity that's going. We're not really into that, right? And you got these like teeny tiny piece of elite that like said, no. Yes, you like chicks being dicks, chicks with dicks. That's totally normal. A chick with a dick is just a chick. I'm like, I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I don't think a chick with a dick is just a chick, right? I think it's a chick at best with a dick. But that's why I always championed them having one not talked to it at unit, because it's very strange. I mean, that was the only thing that would explain Yasmin's Finney's inclusion of unit, right? Like other than she can run like a girl, which good for you, Yasmin. Anyway, well done. So we're at a precipice, and it really is. We are. I think broken into two forces, right? The Gog versus Magog, right? There's two. We are divided into two different groups, right? You're either part of this like unholy alliance of Jew-hating Hamas terrorists or Jew-hating labor or Jew-hating transvestite. But yeah, it's an unholy alliance of all that is evil, right? On one side. And then we have the normal and good people on, I like to say, our side, right? But it's so stark that like people who are saying, "Oh, Israel can't be at the Eurovision," they look like literal demons. Like they look terrifying, right? Whereas the Israeli girl looked like an angel. I mean, like it really did look that way. Okay, so that's kind of the thing. So that's the precipice we're on right now, and I don't know which way we're going to fall, right? Because look, the way I look at it, I'm very Jew-centric because, a bit Jewy, right? But I'm very Jew-centric, right? And I do think the world somehow turns on us Hebrews, right? Which is I think anti-Semitism has to have, like anything, has to have some source to its prejudice, right? And the idea that Jews are too powerful is probably true, but not in the way they think, right? I think the function of Jews in reality, in like my theistic worldview, is as a conduit to bring man connected to God, right? That we're supposed to be like the priest to the nations, right? And so we got to have exemplary behavior. And well, look, in the generalities we do. I mean, honestly, I think, a lot of the things we do to protect civilian life and war, in ours, which by and large is very successful, more successful than anybody else, is laudable. Like as a society, we're a very, I would say moral society in that we're non-judgmental. We help each other. Everybody has the same rights regardless of religion, or that's just like a Jewish worldview, right? But it's not that. It's not just that. It's like so. But on on the level that God wants us to be, we are not. There's this. I talk about it a lot. Lashon hara, talking shit about each other. Someone was telling me about this synagogue thing where everybody always talks shit about people. I'm like, wrong with you? Like, hey, look, everyone's walking around like mourning, about how, we are at war here. Like, literally, a friend of mine had a 7-day memorial thing yet to because a nephew, I think, died recently, right? And so people are dying, and there's a lot of it going on, and it's like it's not easy, right? It's not easy, and like I don't know, it seems to me that from a theological Jewish point of view, that talking shit about each other and anti-Semitic violence, Jews talking shit about each other and anti-Semitic violence are inextricably linked, right? It's just the same way as you pull a trigger on a gun, the bullet will come out and somebody will be shot, right? It's one action, right? It's one thing. I think it's the same way with this thing. You talk shit about someone, then there's a kid in Gaza who's going to have bullets whooshing through past his ears. Not through his ears, I hope. Past his ears, right? For every time you can't keep your idiot mouth shut, right? Every time you got to talk shit, then like literally it's a lottery, and it might be another mother crying at a funeral, right? Like, why not just not do that? So okay, so as I said, we're on a precipice. And it could go either way, right? It could go either way. I on one hand, I'm optimistic about where we've come this year and in this time. On the other hand, I'm very worried, right, that as a society, as far as I can see, we really don't keep the central idea of not talking shit about each other, where it should be like the definitive foundation of all Jewish thought, right? It really should be the definitive, and it's so bizarre how people don't get it, right? And I'm like, it's incredible. Like, have you not been to enough funerals? No, and they just want, and it's a matter of faith, I guess, right? And is it that one of the downsides of Judaism having lots of ritual, and there are lots of ritual, lots of things cost a lot of money. like food, for example, because everything's got to go through a Jewish ritual, right? So people make the ritual the goal rather than make the ritual the tool, right? It's like and they will do everything. They will do absolutely everything apart from the point. They'll pray 3 times a day, or they'll go to synagogue, unless for some reason they can't, and they will study Torah, the Jewish law and theology, and they'll do everything they're supposed to, right? And when push comes to shove, they won't recognize the central worst thing possible. Essentially like this. What is the point of reality, right? The point of reality is to see the reality of God. Now, what does that mean, seeing the reality of God? God is infinite, right? God is infinite means he's infinite. There's no end to God, right? There's nothing divisible from God. God is, and people think infinite, you go, oh, it's way out there, man. Oh, the infinite's out there. No, mate. It's like infinite. It's as infinite there as it is anywhere, right? Everything is intrinsically part of that infinite, right? And that is the central idea to understand our oneness and the oneness of all of creation, right? That's our central idea. And that's why talking shit about each other is the thing that destroys that, right? It's the antithesis of what God gave. And it's not just hating each other, it's the literal talking shit about each other, because the thing that God gave humans, other than reason, right? But there's a special gift of of something God gave humans, which is speech, right? And they use speech to destroy reality rather than create it. So again, when you go, oh, that guy's a cunt, you know what he did? Or make up some bullshit or lie or whatever, right? Because it makes you feel good. It makes you feel good in a minute. The result of that is there's going to be a kid being shot at, right? There's no such thing as anti-Semitic violence without there being Jews talking shit about each other. It's just intrinsically linked. Now, again, I don't see us getting any better under any circumstances, right? Because, like, honestly, nobody even thinks about this, right? Everyone's like, oh, yeah, right. No, again, it's not like it's a subtle subplot in the Bible, right? It's a really major thing, right? Over and over again. But no. I mean, it just... Okay, here are 3 questions that I would say any religious person, right, should ask themselves. And I don't know about other religions. Religious Jews do, I mean, some do, but mostly do not. And they will think these questions are ridiculous. The first question is this: why did God do that? Why did God do that? Why did God do that? Nobody asks that because they know the fucking answer, right? Why did God do October the 7th? Because he's fucked off. Really? You can't work that out. Is that a sign he's happy with you? No, it's fucking not, is it? God, that's why they don't ask. Oh, why did God do that? Because he's fucked off with you. That's fucking why. Oh. I mean, all it is, I talk shit about each other. What's the big deal? That's it! Anyway. That's the first question they don't. Why God do that? Because he's fucked off with you. Is normally the answer, right? The second thing is, the second question that nobody asks themselves is, what do you think God thinks about that, right? What do you think God thinks about that? Like, we're being corrupt and we're lying. What do you think God thinks about that? I don't think he likes it. I think he might think you're a cunt, right? That's why they don't ask the question of, what do you think God thinks about that? I think he might think you're a cunt. You know why I think he might think that? Because you're being a cunt. Really? Okay, so what? Why God do that? Normally because he's fucked off, right? What will God think about that? Probably you're a cunt, right? Now, here's the question, the third question that people really should ask themselves. And it would be such a great idea, right? How do you think God feels about that? Now, you take 1 minute out your day and in an uninterrupted minute, focus on how you think God feels about the world, about what's happening now, what's happening in your life, what's happening around you, how do you think God feels about it, right? And not happy, right? Not angry. I think devastated. I think very sad. Yeah. I just think, wouldn't it be nice if we didn't talk shit about each other? Brilliant. I mean, really, if you just didn't, right? Like, it doesn't matter if your baby brain little mind goes, oh, look shit! Oh, look shit! It doesn't matter. Don't do that. You know, like God says, no, God said me I should talk shit because he's a bad man. He's bad man. I should talk shit. No, fuck off. You don't know anything. So there you go. That's why I'm not. So there's two indicators, I think, about what's going on in the world. Where are we going to fall? Are we going to go down the nice path to redemption, or the longer, darker path to redemption? Right? It'll be a longer, darker path. I think two things will really give you an insight. One, what goes on with this Trump-Biden debate, right? What the hell's going to happen with it? It's like, it seems like it's going to be a disaster for Biden, doesn't it? Yeah, I get the same feeling when Robert Pattinson was cast as Batman. I go, well, that looks like it's going to be shit, is it? And it was. It was, yes. No, he looked like shit as Batman. He was a bad Batman. I'm Batman. Why are you making another one? Stop. That was a shit movie, right? Play Batman Begins at half speed with the light turned down, okay? It's the same thing. You're not missing anything. So the Trump-Biden debate, like, you know, CNN are really going out their way to control the narrative about it, right? And like, firstly, I mean, where's that great clip now? I didn't download this one, did I? I think I bookmarked it, right? I think I bookmarked it. Where they like hard cut off a woman, or a Trump spokesperson, when she started to mention that Jake Tapper, this is it. Jake Tapper had called Trump Hitler over and over again. It's like, well, does that mean he's less than impartial, right? And again, the freak out is just glorious, right? It's absolutely glorious. Doing here, there we go. Yep, that's new. Save video as. Wow, that was really quick. We'll do that. CNN. It's always amazing when a site updates itself. There you go. Blimey, look at that. Look at that. Things are actually working. Doink. Check this out.
It would take someone 5 minutes to Google Jake Tapper, Donald Trump, to see that Jake Tapper has consistently,
we're going to stop this interview if you're going to keep attacking my colleagues. Ma'am, I'm going to stop this interview if you continue to attack my colleagues. I would like to talk about...
Ma'am, do not tell the truth that we're full of shit. No, fuck no, ma'am. I mean, like, really, why did you say cunt instead of ma'am? Ma'am, let's go back to that from beginning. God, never have I seen two faces more emblematic of who they are. Look at Frumpy Bitch. God, if that woman was a superhero, her name would be Frumpy Bitch. Frumpy Bitch is here to save that. God, she seems so pissed. Look at her. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't recommend you do this, but let's say you're so lucky to have meet a beautiful woman, and then you get married, right? And you know, upon having coitus, upon making love to your wife, you then get up and you wash your dick on a curtain. You wipe the dick on a curtain. That's the look you can expect to get, right, when you turn around, right? That's it, right there. Don't do that, kids, right? Don't do that.
It would take someone 5 minutes to Google Jake Tapper, Donald Trump, to see that Jake Tapper has consistently,
we're going to stop this interview.
Fuck
you! We're going to keep attacking my colleagues. Ma'am, I'm going to stop this interview if you continue to attack my colleagues. I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
Yes.
If you are here to speak on his behalf, I am willing to have this conversation.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry.
Hey, fuck this! Fuck this! Reality alert! This is CNN! Hit the dump button! Hit the dump button!
We're going to come back out to the panel. Caroline, thank you very much for your time. You are welcome to come back.
Thank you for your time! Look at, she is so freaked out. Fucking hell!
Thank you very much for your time. You are welcome to come back at any point. She is welcome to come back and speak about Donald Trump, and Donald Trump will have equal time to Joe Biden when they both join us now.
She doesn't know what to say. And then Joe Biden at equal time will go early gig with Donald Trump. Words confuse me. I was scared. She was telling the truth. I was scared.
Later this week in Atlanta for this debate.
Yeah, okay. That is full on Karen freakout, okay? Unrestrained, full on Karen freakout. I mean, it doesn't get more. I mean, I think every frame of this, she has a wonderful face for this. Yeah. So then the story gets weirder. Let me find. It goes on Tim Pool's Twitter. Let me just look it up. The exchange between where we are now. Tim Pool and Elon Musk. Okay, here it is. I mean, this is cray, right? So yeah. So again, this gets a bit nuttier. Remove, go away, doink. Share screen, doink. Share. Fine, so check this out. CNN, so it starts over here. CNN is threatening any social channels that provide commentary and debate on stating that they will not allow use outside of CNN. Commentary on presidential debate is the epitome of fair use, and we fully intend to provide insight in real-time fact-checking live. So it does sound like, and YouTube reached out to all the big people, all the big content creators, right? And said, CNN, I'm not going to let you. They're like, fuck you, right? So and it seems like there's this real effort to control the narrative around it, which is really fascinating because, like, how do you expect to do that? Like, this age of social media, how do you expect to do that? Don't be silly. You're being silly, right? So then, question for Elon Musk. It wouldn't be great to be so big Elon Musk answers you. Will live commentary and fact-checking shows for the CNN debate be taken down if CNN files a DMCA, or will default to the fair use and have the matter handled externally? We plan to simulcast. The public has a right to see presidential debates, however that's him. DMCA does not apply. Absolutely right. So, yeah. So they really look like they're trying to control it, but, you just kind of think they have a plan, right? They bought it in. It's like, what's that episode of Red Dwarf? Where Queeg, right? Queeg, where they go in, he challenges. Okay, Holly the shit's computer has to be replaced because he's too senile by a mean computer who then and then Holly is like assigned night watchman duties until they convince him to try and come back. So he challenges Queeg, the evil computer, to a game, and he goes for chess, and he loses. And I'm like, we thought he had a plan. No, and he gets deleted. And then at the end, it turns out, no, Queeg was Holly all the time, just having a joke. So yeah, they gotta have a plan. They thought this up. No, I don't think they do. I think it's going like, who knows what's going to. But anyway, I think that's going to be a real indicator. If they're able to pull off some kind of scam that Biden is competent and lucid, that's not a good indicator, right? That is not a good indicator for where we're going. But the best indicator, right, which I don't think we'll get, but like the best indicator is the British election. That if Farage gets a miracle, which doesn't look likely, right? That is a sign of the incoming Messianic age, right? I mean that is really a sign that happy days are nearly here. But anyway, I don't know what's going on. So when I saw this neighbor, right, I was walking the dog. I said I did indeed. I wasn't able to be optimistic, but that's why, right? That's why. Blimey, that was a half-hour story. Fine. My name's Sheila Beck, and the rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.